Hi everyone, it's Nicole Spohr and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing several cards and tags using new Simon Says Stamp Holly Jolly release stamps, dies, and stencil. So many good products in this new release, and I thought it would be fun to showcase some really cool backgrounds and then embellishing them with other die cuts, stamp sentiments, all of that kind of good stuff. Some of my favorite products from the Holly Jolly release are these amazing backgrounds. So we have two new background stamps, Outline Merry Christmas background, the Holiday Words background, and then a stencil, the Scattered Stars. I have pre-die cut and some tags using some nested tags dies from Simon Says Stamp, and I have some backgrounds already prepped. And we are going to do the part of the project that needs some dry time, so some air dry time, which is the stenciled backgrounds that I am going to use some Nouveau Crackle Mousse or Glitz Glitter Gel. So we're going to use the Nouveau Crackle Mousse in Egyptian Gold first. I'm kind of mixing it up. I noticed it separated just a little bit, and I'm going to mix it up with my palette knife, grab a little bit, place it right there on my panel, and I'm just laying the stencil over the top here, and then I'm going to smooth it all over the surface with a stencil pal, which gives me a nice, even, very thin layer. Now the name of this is Crackle Mousse, and you will notice in the finished card that all the little stars have that crackle effect to them. I absolutely love the Crackle Mousse colors and really recommend it. I've had some amazing results with this, and I really, really love this today. So not only am I going to go ahead and stencil that background, but we're going to go ahead and do a tag as well. I die cut tags from the smooth white cardstock that you see here, some Lawn Fawn Black Licorice cardstock, and Simon Says Stamp Schoolhouse Red cardstock. So 3 different colors are kind of the basis of my projects today. When I started this project, I've had so many requests for tags, and I love making holiday tags. So I thought I would share that, but I also wanted to show how to use them for cards. And one of the things when I'm making tags is I like to make sure that they're usable for me. And I really love red, white, and black gift wrap. It's what I've used for the last several years. So often you're going to see projects in those colorways so I can actually use them on my packages. But you can definitely do this in whatever color your heart desires, whatever your favorite holiday colorway is. Now this is the same stencil, that Scattered Stars, but this is with the Gina K Red Velvet Glitz Glitter Gel. Completely different look. I love both. I absolutely think this is such a fun way to create amazing backgrounds, and I love, love, love this stencil. And again, we're going to do a background. We're also going to do a tag. Nice thin layer. I'm going to scrape that all off. I'm going to take the excess, put it back in the container, and then I'm immediately going to pause my camera, run to the kitchen, and grab some warm soapy water and clean my stencil, my palette knife, and my stencil pal. You want to clean that up as soon as possible. Next, we are going to stamp our backgrounds. You might have guessed we're doing everything assembly line style today. So we're going to do all of our backgrounds, or create all of our backgrounds for both the cards and the tags. And then we're going to do all of our die cutting, all of our assembling, all of our stamping, and all of the finishing. This is the Outline Merry Christmas background. It is so, so good. I absolutely love a graphic text type of background like this. It looks amazing. It looks amazing colored. It looks amazing stamped and embossed. It looks amazing stamped. It is really, really a great background. Very highly recommend this product as well. I am stamping this on some black licorice cardstock with clear embossing ink and heat embossing with white embossing powder. I did stamp it with red ink on white cardstock, and I opted not to use that background for my projects here. I'm just going to save that for another project later on. After I have heat embossed this background, which it does take a minute, and you'll notice that I did use a powder tool to help kind of keep those embossing powder flakes on the stamped area only, I will let the embossing cool, and then I'm going to take a dry, clean rag. You can also use a paper towel or something like that and remove that excess powder. I'm also going to stamp a red tag with this background to give it that nice text type of background, and then we're going to sprinkle on our white embossing powder and heat emboss this as well. Now, I definitely used the last background the most. It wasn't necessarily on purpose. I just really love the effect, and it's probably because it's such a bold text. The outline is really great and I love it, but I think the bold filled in text almost gives a better background. It gives a different look. I shouldn't say better. It's definitely whatever you prefer. And I wanted to see it in all colors. So I'm going to stamp it on black, heat emboss in white. I'm going to stamp it on red and heat emboss in white. And I'm also going to stamp it on white with a black ink. I'm going to use the VersaFine Onyx black ink to stamp this on not only a background, but a tag as well. So really just kind of wanted to see how it would look on all of those, and I ended up using all of them because I really, really liked it. It does take a minute to heat emboss because that's a lot of embossing powder, but look how gorgeous that is. Absolutely love this background, so good. And again, this is called the Holiday Words background. Now that I have that stamped and embossed, again, I'm going to let it cool. We're going to buff away any of the powder. I did stamp this with that VersaFine ink, so I'll show you that real quick. I did opt to use the VersaFine ink because it gives such good coverage. I did stamp it more than once, but you'll notice that it does stamp really crisp black and it looks amazing. So I highly recommend using your favorite black ink for getting a really great impression. And the black text almost might be my favorite. I really, really like that, the black text on white. Now, I am mostly using Holly Jolly new products. So all the products so far I've showed you are new, with the exception of the nested tags, which were previously released, but of course they work for any time. But I am going to pull in some previously released products. So the Santa Man dies, there's also a stamp die combo, but this is just the standalone dies, is so awesome. So I am going to trim down one of my backgrounds to 4 by 5 1/4, and then off camera I did die cut the Santa Man pieces from Smooth White Cardstock, Schoolhouse Red Cardstock, and Lawn Fawn Pixie Dust Cardstock, Lawn Fawn Gold Metallic Cardstock, and the Pearlescent Vellum. Then on the beard and mustache, I'm going to take Copic markers in Warm Gray 1 and 3 and feather in some texture for the beard. I'm going to do this for all of the Santa Man images that I die cut. It's 4 total. We're going to do 3 cards and 1 tag with this Santa Man. I honestly could have probably made all of my cards with this guy because I think he's really cute. And I could have probably made a whole set, and probably will go back and make a whole set of tags with him because I think he is phenomenal for tags. He's a nice big size. So if you're going to use one of the bigger size of tags, I believe I used the largest, and I think he probably fits the best on the largest tag. but just really, really fun and super quick to put together if you're going to do assembly line style especially. It will take a little bit of work to die cut him from all these different cardstocks, but I think the effect is so worth it, and he turned out amazing. I really, really liked him. After I've added and feathered in warm gray 1 and 3 Copic markers, I am going to go ahead and assemble him on the card front. And he is a good size even on a card front, not just a tag. So he's going to really kind of just be centered in the middle here. I'm going to adhere the beard and mustache first, then his hat, and we've got the brim, the hat, and the pom-pom. His glasses were die cut from that gold metallic. We're going to glue those down. And then I die cut them again from pearlescent vellum cardstock, and that's what's going to fill in the actual glasses part of the image. And I wasn't sure. I was super nervous about doing that and how it would turn out. I did run the vellum through a Xyron sticker maker so that it gives a nice even coating all over the back of the vellum. And I have to say, I am thrilled with how this turned out. I have used him before on another set of cards, but I did the sunglasses. You get both the little spectacles like I'm using here or sunglasses, and I used the sunglasses last time. I almost think I like the spectacles better. Love, love, love how these turned out. I hope you guys do too, because really fun and makes such cute cards and tags. I'm using my Ranger Multi-Matte Medium with a fine tip applicator on the tip, so it makes it easy to be able to kind of glue everything down. I'm also using acrylic blocks to help hold things flat. You're going to see that throughout my video as I am using liquid glue, because it helps hold everything kind of together so it doesn't curl up while the liquid glue dries. And I've run these through my sticker maker off camera, so I'm just kind of peeling them off the backing paper and popping the actual quote-unquote glass into place. Here is the Santa Man tag I was talking about. So we're assembling him on a black text tag. And just like before, we're just going to kind of put him all together here. And you can see how great he fits on the tag as well. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble him on a black background that looks just like this tag. And also the other black background that we created with the outline. So the outline black background, that one's kind of a tongue twister. We're going to assemble him on that as well. Part of the I had laid all my backgrounds out, so I kind of made a pre-plan before I did anything. And one of the reasons Santa is on whiter black backgrounds is he shows up much better. I had considered doing a red background, and I really didn't like that because the red of his hat blends into it too much. I think he stands out better on a whiter black. For our red stars background, we're using the Chunky Joy die, which is a brand new product. This is going to end up being a super clean and simple card. It's going to be this great stars background with that glitz glitter gel that we've stenciled, the joy that's layered with vellum, Schoolhouse red cardstock, and Lawn Fawn black glitter cardstock, and then we're going to stamp and emboss a little sentiment and die cut it into a strip that goes across the center. That's it. It is a few steps. It's a little bit of die cutting, but it turns out so, so good. Now, the joy was die cut from the red and black cardstock, the actual sentiment, not just the shadow, which was from vellum. So I have a leftover red outline and a black glitter, and I decided to go ahead and use these And I am going to use these on my two smaller tags. So this is one size down from the Santa Man one we just created. And that's going to be a black text background and our gold stars background. And we're just going to add that little joy along each side. For our gold crackle background, this is going to be a little trio of trees using the new Chunky Trees and Holly dies. We're going to do 3 trees right there in the center of our background. And we're going to be layering vellum. That's going to be the outline piece, gold metallic, gold glitter, and white glitter cardstock. So I've die cut it from a few different papers, just inlaying these, adding all the little pieces, and the gold and white theme I really love. I'm a little different than some of the others I've done here in my video today, but shows some of the variety and just how different things look when you die cut them from different colors of cardstock. Even Santa, I think it would be really fun to do like a gold Santa instead of the red. Mix it up just a little bit. We're going to finish the little trees, and while I was die cutting trees, I also die cut 2 more from white and red glitter cardstock, and we're going to use those for our red background tags. And those will just go right on the tag itself. Kind of simple, but again, these are gift tags. I do like gift tags, and I often spend a little bit of time on them, but I don't want to spend as much time, I guess. It just depends. I like to have an assortment of different gift tags for wrapping gifts. So these are what the red ones look like. And then my last tag is actually going to have the little holly image from the Chunky Trees and Holly, and then some stamped sentiments to go with that as well. And we're going to kind of focus on or feature that a little bit more when we get to the stamping. So once the die cutting assembly is mostly done, and here is that, I guess I did go ahead and do the little holly berries, and this is the only card or tag, I believe, in the bunch that has a little bit of green on it, and that was for the leaves, but I think it looks really great against the glittery red star background. And then, of course, the black text we'll be adding on top. And we're just inlaying these little pieces on the vellum outline. We've got our little red pieces that I'm going to add real quick. And then we want to do our stamping. And I, again, did this assembly line style as well. So we're going to stamp a lot of sentiments and things. Oh, I did forget one thing really quick. So the whole reinforcers for the tags. I love this. There's 4 different styles in the nested tags. I die cut 2 of just the traditional whole reinforcer for each tag. Yes, that's quite a few of those, but it really makes a difference. Finishes off your tags, makes them look super professional. I highly recommend doing this if you're going to make tags, just because it does help. That extra little bit of security really does create that reinforcement at the top of your tag, and it really gives it that, you know, pre-made tag kind of look. Okay, once the whole reinforcements are on the front and back of each tag, we are going to stamp any little parts and pieces that we need. So I am stamping and embossing some of the sentiments in gold or in clear ink on white cardstock, heat embossing with antique gold embossing powder. We're going to die cut those. I also have some sentiment phrases we're going to stamp in with black ink, or maybe even large sentiments stamped with black ink. The larger sentiments from Let's Make a Tag do have coordinating dies. That's going to be our Joy, Merry, Seasons, Greetings, and the word Ho. And then there's lots of little phrases, and I love using the Simon Says Stamp nested banners dies for these. I'm going to use the circular one, kind of the one that has the rounded edges, and then the flag one for anything that I'm die cutting today. You could also trim these with your paper trimmer or scissors if you wanted to. You don't have to use a banner die, but that banner die set is one of my all-time favorites. You can kind of see a little peek of it down there in the lower left corner of the screen. But it really gives all of those little strips such a fantastic finished edge. I'm going to keep doing this. I have quite a few little sentiments that we need. So anything that needs die cut is what I'm working on now. There's also going to be a few things that need to be stamped directly either on the back of the tag. We've got the to and the from. There's a couple of different options in the Let's Make a Tag set. There's also a little sentiment I'm going to add to one of my cards, and I think maybe, trying to think if I stamped anything else. I think that's maybe it, but I did anything that needed stamped and die cut first, and then we're going to take our tags and we're just going to stamp the to and the from on the back of each. If the tag was white, I stamped with black ink. If the back of the tag was black or red, I stamped with clear embossing ink and heat embossed with white embossing powder. That was just kind of my little, I guess it was my rule, I don't know. Now on this particular Santa Man, I am going to stamp down there along the bottom the Love Santa. And once we have all of that, we are ready to start finishing the assembly process. In order to adhere sentiments to my cards, I used a lot of foam adhesive to raise them up a little bit. I also used them on my tags. You'll notice just popping up little sentiment strips with foam adhesive. Popping up the die cut sentiments with foam adhesive and also the little banner. Gives it a nice little bit of dimension without having to add anything extra to the card. I really love how all of the cards feature stamping and die cutting, or stenciling and die cutting and stamping. Just very amazing results without all of that extra stuff. You could definitely add sequins or anything like that if you wanted to, but I just love the simplicity, the graphic feel of the backgrounds, and how amazing all of these products work together. And I love the little touch of gold on these black, white, and red cards. Ties in nicely to his little spectacles there. Lots of mixes of gold embossing sentiments and then black stamp sentiments, or heat embossed white sentiments on black cardstock. Lots of ways to do this. I did use all gold embossing on the gold and white card. And I did a little black sentiment strip on our red tags. Now we are ready to put the front and back of our tags together. This is another way that makes them very sturdy, plus it hides anything messy that might be on the back of a tag. And we're going to do this for all 6 of our tags. Place them back to back. You'll also notice that each front and back is different. They're not the same cardstock color. I did this on purpose just to add a little bit more interest to each tag. The nested tag set is fantastic and makes tags in lots of sizes. So while my tags are pretty big, so they mostly work better on larger gifts, some of the smaller ones would definitely be great for smaller gifts. And I will be doing some smaller gift tags soon here on my channel. This tag is a little bit different than my others, and I absolutely love how it turned out. It's super simple, but the red glitter of the stenciled background really pops. And then of course the glitter paper we used to die cut the holly Looks so good. And then the black text, perfect finishing touch, and matches the black hole reinforcers, pardon me, up at the top of the card. Once we have all of our tags put back to back, I have die cut some Fawn lawn trimmings twine. This is in black and white, and we're going to thread it through each hole and knot it up at the top, and that is going to finish off our tags. So we'll just do this for each one. I like to go ahead and trim them all at one time so that they're all relatively the same length. I did not measure them. It's completely up to you how long you want that little string to be. You could probably shorten it a little bit if you wanted to even. And we're just going to tie each of these up. I like to have my tags all ready to go. I'm so excited to use these and to start wrapping some presents. I think they're super fun, and I hope they have inspired you to try making some tags while you are making your holiday cards. We're going to take a quick little peek at all of the projects, which is 11 today. I believe 6 tags and 5 cards, all created with these amazing new products from the Simon Says Stamp Holly Jolly release. Here is a look at each of those tags real quick like, all finished with to and from on the back, and of course all of the cards that I made with those fun backgrounds and dies and stamps. Thank you guys so much for joining me today for this video featuring holiday backgrounds, cards, and tags. The supplies I used to create these projects are listed and linked below the video here on YouTube. Here is another video featuring Simon Says Stamp Holly Jolly products that you might be interested in. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new card making video. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you next time.